Hey guys, welcome back to 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐞𝐬, the cooking channel that's not so useless. In this video, we'll be cooking up a very basic chicken and pork stock. Stocks are great for making all kinds of sauces and soups, and it's definitely handy to always have this available in your kitchen, or in this case, the freezer. And if you're already familiar with our rehydrating dried shiitake mushrooms video, then you'll know that we love to prepare a lot ahead of time. It just saves so much time throughout the year. Now that being said, this video serves as an intermediary recipe for some of the future recipes coming onto the channel. And if you were redirected here from said videos, well, then you already know what this is for. So the ingredients you'll need are chicken carcasses, pork bones, cooking wine, water, spring onion, and ginger. And for the quantities, you'll need 3 chicken carcasses, or use 5 if you just want purely chicken stock, 1 kilogram of pork bones, 1 tablespoon of cooking wine, around 4.8 liters of water, 2 spring onions, and 5 to 6 slices of ginger. But before we begin, if you do enjoy this video, do consider subscribing, as it does help the channel out. Starting off with the chicken carcass. Trim off any fat and skin to the best of your ability. As well as the chicken butt. Now, you want to make sure that you clean out any innards and blood from within the spine, and this will help preserve the clarity of the stock. If you find it difficult to clean it out, then break the carcass in half, and continue from there. Afterwards, your carcass should look much cleaner, and that's because you've removed all of this. Moving on to the pork bones. Rinse them a few times just to get rid of the surface blood and any easy to remove impurities. Once you're done, completely submerge the bones with cold water. And at your stove, turn the heat on high, and just let the water reach a boil. But before it reaches that boil, quickly slice some ginger, and it's fine to keep the skin on so long as you've cleaned it. Then crush the end stalk of the spring onion, and chop. And once you've measured out the cooking wine, add the 3 ingredients into the pot. Fast forward, and you'll notice all the scum floating to the top. So skim out these impurities to ensure that the stock remains pristine. And once the water boils, continue cooking for 10 to 15 minutes, or until the pork bones no longer leak any blood upon the touch. Now if we take a close-up, you'll notice that bits and pieces of those impurities will stick to the bones. So we're going to wash them off the bones. And do the same for the pork bones. When cleaned, put the bones into a pot. Boil some water, then pour enough boiling water into the pot until the water level is a tad bit higher than the bones. For us, we used about 4.8 liters of water. Then turn the heat on high, and wait for the water to boil. Once boiling, skim out any remaining impurities. Then put the lid on, turn the heat down to a medium, and let it cook for half an hour. If you're afraid it will boil over, then leave a little gap. After half an hour, turn the heat down low, and continue cooking for another 1.5 hours to really let the bones impart their flavour into the water. After 1.5 hours, you can see that most of the meat is just floating off the bones. And look at the stock, it looks creamier in colour. If we look closely at the stock, you can see bits of meat and fat floating around that will need to be strained. but it's too hot right now, so let it cool down for 1 to 2 hours. 2 hours later, the stock has cooled down, and is slowly congealing from all the broken down collagens. The fats are also hardening up as well. Next, take out the bones and meat. And if you're feeling peckish, pour some soy sauce on this and eat it on the side. Then sift the stock through a sieve. Now, we're using a defatter jug that's made to separate fats from liquids, and these types are commonly found in Asian kitchen shops. If you don't have this, then you can put the stock into the fridge and let the fat harden before you scoop it out. After separating the fats, just look at how pristine the stock is. And it's absolutely fine if there's still bits of oil floating on the top. You can scoop the rest off tomorrow. After admiring the stock, put it in the fridge overnight. Then the next day, take it out, and you'll notice that the fat has solidified. So scoop the layer out. Any small pieces of fat remaining is absolutely fine. It'll give the final product more sheen when cooked. And just look at the gel-like state the stock is in. You know it's packed with collagen and umami. Next, portion the stock into freezable containers. And for us, we ended up having around 2.8 liters of stock. Then seal, wrap it up, put the date on, and put it in the freezer ready for whenever you need it. So guys, that was my family's recipe for a basic chicken and pork stock. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you ever get the chance to make this at home, be sure to tell us how it goes. And if you want to see any of our future videos, be sure to subscribe. See ya.